Okay, hello everybody and welcome to the Science and Engineering Postgraduate Open Evening webinar. We have four speakers with us. Hopefully the fourth will join us. We actually have three at the moment. So Raphael, Andrea Morel is going to talk first from Maths and Stats, and Tig McIntyre from Psychology then. Hopefully Joe Timoney from Computer Science will join us next, and followed by Sinead Megan from Biology. So each speaker is going to talk for approximately 10 minutes each. If you have any questions, you can pop them in the chat box, and there are representatives, or there should be representatives there from each department that'll be able to answer those questions. If they're not answered, then I can look after them at the end. And plus there's a question and answer session at 6 to 7 this evening. So if they're not answered there, we can look after them in that session. Okay, so I'll hand you over.
Thank you very much. So welcome everybody. My name is Raphael. I'm from the Department of Maths and Stats here in Maynooth, and my colleague Catherine Hurley will be answering questions later tonight as well by email. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about mathematics and statistics, why I like maths and stats so much, and maybe why you should consider maths and stats as an option for your postgraduate degree, and a little bit about the degrees that we offer in Maynooth in our Department of Mathematics and Statistics. So just as a starter here, I have a few images that kind of tell a little bit about my story as a statistician. So I actually started my degree in biology in Brazil back in 2007, and then I did a master's and PhD in statistics. And why, you might ask, why did I do biology and then I did statistics? Well, the reason is people do statistics for a multiplicity of reasons, and mathematics and statistics, they're what we call maybe service providers, as well as their own discipline in terms of theoretical advancements. But I started working with animals in the biological realm. So I have here an example of the Sumatran rhino and the bald eagle and the sea turtles. So nowadays, for example, we have fewer than 80 Sumatran rhinos in the wild in the world. So we can use maths and stats to actually help conserve species. And that was why I went into stats. But many people in my department went into stats for other reasons. For example, my colleague Neve, she works with sea level and climate change. So here is a map of Ireland in a worst case scenario in 100 years, how the sea is going to rise. But as you can see here, Maynooth is still in dry land, and that's in circa 2100s. But then statistics and mathematics, they're used in many, many other areas. So for example, if you have one of these apps on your phone, there is what we call a machine learning algorithm behind it and a climatology model based on mathematics and statistics to predict the weather for tomorrow and for the week. If you have ever paid an insurance premium, that's maths and stats calculating how much you should pay based on the risk that the insurers are running when they insure you. If you're into science, or if you want to work with other scientists, maths and stats are used everywhere because we need to actually translate biological and scientific hypotheses into statistical hypotheses and test them using empirical data. If you have been vaccinated, if you have a bit of Pfizer in you, that's because mathematics and statistics were used during clinical trials to actually ascertain that those vaccines were safe and those vaccines did what they had to do in terms of preventing infection with the coronavirus. And then I have another example here in the stock market and so on. But mainly my point is mathematics in statistics, they're a description of reality. So here I have a classical example that I really like, because this is about the Fibonacci sequence and the golden number, which is a constant that we can use. And these types of spirals, which are based on Fibonacci numbers, they appear everywhere in nature. So here we have a pine cone with this particular spiral, a nautilus shell, and we can actually zoom out and look at a galaxy spiral, and it also follows these mathematical properties. And symmetries in the human body, they also follow these properties. And I think that is fascinating per se. So that is why I really like mathematics and I really like statistics. And nowadays, with what we're living what we call a data deluge, which means that we are flooded with many different data types all the time. So here I have one example of what happens on the internet every 60 seconds. Okay, so we have, for example, more than 87,000 hours of videos of content watched on Netflix. And I'm pretty sure that after the pandemic and after the lockdowns, this number has increased a lot. Let's say 250,000 photos uploaded to Facebook, more than 400 hours of videos uploaded to YouTube, and 700,000 hours of videos watched. What else we have here? Almost 4 million searches on Google, and that's every 60 seconds. So companies such as these, giant tech companies, or even banks or other companies as well, every company that handles data, they need the skills of mathematicians, statisticians, and data scientists to make sense of their data. How to make sense of a volume, such a vast volume of data that keeps being produced, to be able to actually carry out decision making and understand what they need to do to improve their companies and to improve the services to their clients. So that's where maths and stats come into play. So here, there you go. So here in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics in Maynooth, we offer some degrees. Okay, so we offer 4 level 8 degrees. These are our higher diplomas. We are very proud of our higher diplomas. So I'll give you a quick run through these diplomas. So we have our Hdip in data analytics, which has been funded by the HEA through the Springboard program over the past few years. And in this program, students learn how to visualize data, how to analyze data, and they leave the program ready to take on a job. We also have a series of guest lectures from industry representatives where they tell students what it's like to be a data scientist and how they work with data in their daily lives and their jobs. We also have a higher diploma in mathematical studies, another higher diploma in mathematics, and also a higher diploma in statistics. In terms of our level 9 courses, we have an MSc in data science and analytics and an MSc in pure mathematics. We're particularly proud of both our MScs, the MSc in data science and analytics, because we bring so much in terms of industry engagement. And we are also in collaboration with the National Center of Geocomputation in the Department of Computer Science in Maynooth for this MSc. And for our MSc in pure maths, this is one of the few degrees, if you count Ireland and the UK, we have just a handful of degrees that talk about MScs in pure maths. And we also offer PhDs in statistics and mathematics, and more recently in foundations of data science as part of the SFI Center for Research Training in Foundations of Data Science. And that's a joint venture between Maynooth, UCD, and UL. We have been hiring plenty of students over the last few years, and we're very proud of this. As in terms of career opportunities, you can work for any company or any institution that collects data. So they're all in dire need of people with quantitative skills in mathematics, statistics, and data science. Here I have some examples. So for example, people working in automation, developing self-driving cars or drones, social media, in health, in sales, customer relationship, natural language processing. This is a thing of the future. People are looking at tweets and trying to understand what people want in terms of brands that they should buy and how to rebrand their own products and so on, banking and education. And of course, in academia, as an academic, such as myself, doing research in mathematics and statistics and data science. So that is it. That's what I had to say today. Thank you very much for attending this open evening. And my colleague, Catherine Hurley, will be happy to answer your questions throughout, well, over the next couple of hours. And I'll be here for the next few minutes as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raphael. That was very interesting. We have Tig up next, and then Joe, if you don't mind, can Sinead go before you? She has indicated that she's would like to go a bit earlier. If that's okay. Problem. It's okay, is it?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Perfect.
Yeah, thanks very much. I'm just here on behalf of the Department of Psychology just to highlight some of the postgrad opportunities that we have on offer. And what's really interesting is some of them relate to work in data analytics and fractals in nature, which are some mathematical patterns that we see exhibited in tree and branches, for example. But I'll just give you a hint about what we do here. And my colleague, Michael Daly, will be able to answer some questions you might have afterwards. So I'm just going to introduce you to the department. I'm going to highlight that we have an existing taught program, a master's in psychology, which is essentially what you might know as a conversion course to help people attain professional accreditation with the Psychological Society of Ireland. And I'm very excited as a lead of a new program in environmental psychology, which is launching this September. We have an extensive number of PhD researchers in the department, and we have both master's and taught research and PhD research options. So the department works across 4 themes. and these perhaps don't do justice to the amount of work that's done, but within psychology. But we're proud to say that our new president, Professor Eva Leinen, herself is a psychologist, and she's very interested in the fact that a lot of the work we do touches upon societal challenges, be those demographic, health, environment, major societal issues. So I can tell you that we have the largest cohort of PhD researchers in Maynooth University. We're ranked in the top 200 departments globally, and I can't take any credit for that because I'm only a new member of the department, but we are ranked number 2 on the island of Ireland. So we do engage research, typically tackling societal problems around healthcare, civil society, industry, with governments, NGOs, and even United Nations agencies across more than 50 countries. So there's an expansive remit and scope to the work we do at Maynooth University in psychology. Our staff lead a number of different institutes, so the All Institute, the Centre for Mental Health and Community Research, and the Kennedy Institute for Conflict Intervention. We're also strongly involved with the Social Science Institute and the Lonsdale Institute for Human Health. So, essentially what we're trying to do is, ensure that graduates really get to appreciate the full impact that psychology can have in dealing with societal problems, and that you have a positive experience and you can take that psychology, into solving other problems. Some of those are well beyond, formal training within psychology, and that is often what happens even at graduate level. But certainly psychology offers a window both into yourself and into some of these challenges from a unique perspective. So that Master's in Psychology is a one-year full-time program, 3 semesters. It's a pre-professional qualification and it's PSI accredited. So PSI is the Psychological Society of Ireland. And this should be linked to what's called CORU accreditation, so professional accreditation, which is being run by a new government agency. Across 3 semesters, there's a shift in focus. So primarily in semester 1, the focus is on advancing skills in psychological research methods and analytic techniques. That includes classic studies in psychology, where you get to dissect them and look at things like what we call the replication hypothesis, some of the challenges that the field are trying to address at the moment. And in the second semester, the focus is on professional ethics and applied research experiences, and trying to understand what is the translatability of these research skills to address major issues. And then this is finished with a capstone, essentially an independent research project, a dissertation or thesis in psychological science. So students can undertake empirical research, qualitative or quantitative. They can choose from a broad range of experienced supervisors with an array of expertise, which I have yet to fully understand, because the scope of work in the department is huge. So the idea is that research isn't simply a thesis which gathers dust on the shelf, which is a kind of traditional approach, but actually it's more about learning skills of dissemination, which are using lay summaries, infographics, presentations, and different medium. The entry requirements are a 2:1 degree in level 8 honors. It should include in large proportion, technically 60 credits in psychology or psychological studies module. So essentially you need to have, almost 2/3 of your work done in psychology prior to coming onto this program. So if you did joint honors in a non-accredited program, this is the course for you. There are some requirements around language, which are typical across our postgraduate courses. And how to apply, the deadline is 30th of June, 2022, and the contact details are there. I think, this is perhaps the bit that's most exciting for me as a course lead. This is why I was hired in Maynooth University, and it's really exciting in given the challenges, both COP26 and some of the societal challenges we saw with COVID-19, in terms of accessing green space, in terms of inequalities regard to green space, and how green space can really be important for health. So it's a 1-year full-time program, and it commences this September. And this is, probably an interesting backdrops. These are some of the kind of key topic areas which inform our work. The new masters will ensure graduates develop a critical understanding of how actions shape the world, and how, our environment's impact upon us. So we're very interested in the difference between urban, peri-urban and rural environments, and this impacts upon health and other factors. Environmental psychology is about 50 years old as a field. It's interdisciplinary, so there's multiple methodological approaches. And it's really about the interplay between individuals and their surroundings. We actually run what's, technically an interdisciplinary or transdisciplinary approach, which means we get people from different disciplines, but often sometimes trying to combine methodologies, which gets very interesting. So there's staff contributing from geography, biology, marketing, and environmental science. And we have within psychology, even a broad range of subdisciplines there. So those subdisciplines include, cognitive health, clinical, and research. The focus in the first semester is really on the key tenets of environmental psychology, and research methods aren't just focused on in one semester, they're pretty much cross-cutting, and that's to ensure that you have skills as a graduate, which will enhance your employability. The second semester is very much on key advanced topics and application, and this is certainly quite interesting because we actually do have two major European projects in Maynooth, one of which is specifically on urban health and sustainability, and the other is about aging society and inclusion. And these both speak to issues within environmental psychology. And you can Google Go Green Roots or Shapes if you like. But this will support work in independent research, which is really interesting. It means that some of the research you get to do is actually going to be informed by the most contemporary or cutting edge research being conducted at the university. And you will be able to, align your work with these projects, and that allows you access to additional expertise, which you perhaps might normally be able to access on a postgraduate program. So we're not just looking for psychologists. We know it's interdisciplinary. We're looking at people who have a 2-1 in primary degree in psychology or related subjects. And further information you can get either by contacting me directly or in the Q&A session after this. So there's similar information in terms of the deadline, and my contact details are there and on the web. We also would like to highlight there's a conversion course and the environmental psychology masters both have access to funding through a scholarship program, and that might be quite useful for some of you to know. Just to bookend our talk here, we have a master's by research, which is very much a structured piece of work that's exploratory and relevant to a field. And this can be 1 to 2 years full-time or at least 3 years part-time. And obviously, there's a requirement for an accredited degree in psychology to 2-1 level as an entry into that. And finally, and just to go to the PhD, given the fact we do have a large number of PhDs. And I just highlight that actually, it's quite interesting to know that most of the research in psychology at doctoral level is funded, which means if you have a really good concept and you bring it to a supervisory team, they can support you to seek funding for that idea. And obviously we have the Hume Scholarship Program at Maynooth. So that's all for now. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Tyke. That was really interesting. That new program looks brilliant. I think it's going to be a great new addition to Maynooth. So if Sinead wants to go ahead next, okay.
Please. Thanks very much. Hi. So let's see, share screen. So can we see that?
We can, yep.
Okay. Right. Right, let's see. Pardon me. Show grid. Okay. Slideshow. I'm just trying to, pardon me, I'm just trying to get my slide. Ah, yes, here we go. So you can see my slides, yes? Okay. So I'll talk about the research that we do in the Department of Biology. Okay, so here is a picture of our Department of Biology. So we're spread across 2 different buildings. We have the Bioscience building here and the Callan building. So what do we do? So our department, we focus on 5 main strands of research. So this spans from immunology, so thinking about how our body fights infections, to environmental biology. So for instance, looking at climate change and how living organisms may adapt to that. Another aspect that we focus on is genomics. So looking at, from a computational biology perspective, and trying to understand the mechanisms that drive disease and evolution. Following on from that, another strand that we work on is biochemistry. So trying to understand the biology behind inherited diseases and chronic diseases such as diabetes and Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And finally, our department focuses on microbiology, which is looking at pathogenic microbes and trying to think about the diseases that may cause. So this is the focus of the department. These are the 5 main areas that we work on. Now, in terms of postgraduate opportunities, there's 2 different arms to what we do. So firstly, what we do is offer PhD opportunities, and these can be from any of these 5 different disciplines that I've already spoken to in the biology department. Now, some are funded. Some are funded by the Hume Scholarship, others are funded by the Irish Research Council. So if you'd like more information on that, please feel free to contact Dr. Martina Schroeder. She'll be available later on today for the Q&A session, and her contact details are here. Now, focusing on an MSc program that we run here in the department. So I coordinate the program. It's an interdisciplinary program. It brings together researchers in the areas of anthropology, medical, geography, psychology, and biology, and maths and stats. So we bring together lecturers and experts in this various fields. So what do we do? So the structure of the program, it's delivered as 12 5-credit thought modules, and it spans 1 year. So typically the program starts from September, late September, and it runs until August the following year. Now here is the PAC code for it. It's MHD 50, and the fees are outlined here for EU and non-EU students. Now, in terms of the modules, what do you study if you decide to undertake this program? Now, firstly, I have to state that this is a unique program in Ireland. We have programs which focus either on the public health, global health aspect, or focus on immunology. But we have a unique perspective and a unique handle on in our program, in that we bring together both of these disciplines. So what will you study if you decide to undertake our program? If you do not have a background in immunology, that's okay, because what we do is give you that basic understanding of immunology. So we look at fundamental immunology, so the basics of immunology, then we build on that and we develop it where you get an understanding of advanced immunology, look at how you might apply it in a clinical setting and in a research setting. We also look at clinical immunology, what drives diseases such as arthritis, Crohn's disease, and so forth. Following on from that, then we think about how we might produce vaccines and adjuvants. So this is particularly topical given the current pandemic. Equally, so what are the limitations to providing vaccines for various diseases? So we think about producing, firstly, the vaccine, the ethics behind it, how we're producing it, how clinical trials are conducted. Also, what we have to think about is what limits our ability to provide vaccines and therapeutics to people that need them. So for instance, in sub-Saharan Africa, what can we do? So this really ties in very nicely to the global health aspect of our program. So we think about medical anthropology, the geography and health systems, and so forth. Now, then what we do is we run a series of seminars. So the seminars span from semester 1 through to semester 2. So what we do is we invite experts in the field of immunology and global health to talk about their research. Then finally, we have a capstone project. So typically this will run from the end of May until the end of August, and it's a 3-month project. So you have the opportunity either to work in a lab, so you might have, as you make your way through the program, you might have an interest in immunology, in global health, and there's a certain area you may have garnered a very keen interest in pursuing further, and perhaps even doing a PhD. So this is a way in which you can tailor your career plans with the 3-month project that you decide to do at the end of the core modules. So this is very, very useful. So what do you need to do to undertake this master's program? Firstly, you need a 2-2 grade, a honours degree in a biological or a health related science. So in our program, we've had people coming through who have a degree in nursing, sports science, equine science, zoology, medicine. So, you know, the students who come through come from very diverse backgrounds. Okay, so the spaces on our course, they're quite limited, 22 in total. Now, so it's an honours degree is what's required in a health related subject. Now, in terms of the English language requirements, they're listed here. So an IELTS 6.5 or higher or equivalent, as you can see here. So in terms of career options, what can I do when I finish this course? Okay, so there are a number of career paths. So for instance, some of our graduates, they have undertaken employment in a biotech company or pharmaceutical. For instance, they're process technicians, QC analysts, senior QC analysts, microbiologists, and so forth. Now, some of our students have actually used this program as a gateway to pursue either a PhD or a degree in medicine. So this is quite often this has happened, and this program aligns very well with that. Also, we have a number of students who have gained employment in government and non-governmental organizations. So for instance, working as clinical research coordinator or infection control specialist. So really you can use this program as a way of tailoring your career to get what you want out of your career.
Sorry, Sinead, we're running quite.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
We're on time now. You grand.
Oh.
It's just we need to be finished.
Pardon me. Okay.
Pardon me. Sorry.
Okay. So what you need then? So the link to the programs are here. Now, the most important thing is the personal statement. Okay. So the other details are here. So there's our personal statement. Really important. So tell us why you want to do our program, undertaken, and the Q&A session is between 6 and 7 today, and Dr. Schroeder will be there to answer any questions you might have. So, and please feel free to contact me if you have any questions as well. Take care. So I'm Sinead, and thank you very much for your time. Bye.
Thank you, Sinead. I'm sorry for rushing
No, it's fine. Yes, fine.
Joe, if you want to go ahead. So we've
I must go. Yeah, sorry. Take care. Bye.
Computer science. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'll just share my screen then. How many is it? About 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's 7. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll be quick anyway. I can rush over a few things.
I don't think we're going to have a Q&A at the end of this session anyway, because I think all our attendees have dropped off. So this is like just for a recording purposes now, I think. So sorry.
Okay, just let me share there. So okay, can you see my slides there?
Mm-hmm.
We can,
okay. Yeah. All right. So welcome to my contribution to the Maynooth University Postgraduate webinar for this year. I'm going to talk about our MSc Hdip programs and then say a little bit about our research in the department. Sorry. Okay, so Maynooth University, the computer science department was established in 1987, so we've been here quite a while. We had major expansion in the 90s when the university became part of NUI, and we've been running our MSc and Hdip program since that time. So we have a lot of experience with doing them. We are situated in the oldest building, which opened in 2015, and it kind of still feels like a new building on campus, and we have great facilities in there. Okay, we have a dedicated room for our MSc students. So the oldest building there is in the heart of the North Campus, and right beside the arts, human building, so right in the middle of everything. So what does a computer scientist do? Well, a computer science with a master's, we wanted to be creating software applications, building data storage systems, making software for embedded hardware systems, developing data analysis algorithms, creating new ways of solving problems. So what do we offer? We have MSc and Hdip program courses. We have the MSc in Computer Science, Software Engineering. The coordinator is Kevin Casey. The MSc in Computer Science Applied, coordinator is Edgar Galvin. The Hdip in Science, Software Development, and the Hdip in UI and UX, and the coordinator is Ralph Bierig for that. The MSc in Computer Science Software Engineering, it's a one-year program that runs from October to July. There's a distinct focus on building skills in software engineering. This is a one-year-long research. There's a one-year-long research dissertation that's worth 3 modules, credits, and then it's really aimed at incoming students with a strong background in programming and data structures. So if they have that in their initial undergraduate degree, well, then they can be a good candidate to join that program. And the modules they take, they're all compulsory and they involve requirements engineering, advanced concepts and object-oriented programming, practical cryptography, databases, rigorous software process, mathematics and theory of computer science, software testing, interaction design, internet solutions engineering, and then the project, which is a year long. And it's, of course, it's a research-based project and done with the member staff in the department. So you learn how to model software systems, advanced programming, data and spatial data storage, developing software with rigor and formality, computation complexity, internet programming technologies, data security, and interfaces to theory and practice of these. So the way it's organized is that each module will take a day a week in the first and second semesters. Okay, so you're like on a Monday, you have CS 607. So you have lectures in the morning and practicals in the afternoon. Tuesday is the project day. CS 613, again, you have lectures in the morning, practice in the afternoon. And all the modules are pretty much organized like that in the first and second semesters. The MSc in Computer Science Applied is a 2-year program. Entry requirements are a 3-year degree in computer science, a 2HT, or equivalent amount of computer science as part of a degree in a cognitive subject. The second year is a work placement in the second semester, and it's organized through the placement office. So its first year is really aligned with our 4th year and has compulsory modules with some electives. So you have to pick 60 credits out of everything here. So you have a lot of choices across what we offer to our 4th year students. The second year then has advanced modules, which are shared with the MSc in Computer Science Software Engineering degree. And it also has a 10-credit project. And then you have your work placement in the second semester. So through the work internship modules and our undergraduate postgraduate programs, our department has links to national, international computing companies, which include Amazon, SAP, Oracle, Ericsson's, Intel. So we have a long relationship with the placement office and work very closely with them to place our students. And of course, it's very helpful for students when it comes to getting jobs afterwards. We did a quality review a couple of years ago, and we actually did surveys of where our graduates were employed in both the Masters in Software Engineering and the Masters in Computer Science Applied. So you can see just quickly here, there's places like Optum, some of them are doing PhDs, General Motors, IBM, SAP, EY, OpenNet, 123.ie, Cartel, Accenture, Access Earth, VMS Ireland. So they work in many different positions, such as software developer, business intelligence developer, software engineer, all across the software industry. And the same for the MSc and CS Applied. Other master's programs that we're connected with is the MSc in Geocomputation, which is run by the Geography Department, and the MSc in Data Analytics, which is run by the Maths Department. But we supervise, we teach some modules and supervise a number of projects in the Data Analytics. For the higher diploma in science software development, this is a 1-year program and it's a conversion to software development. So there's funding available to the Springboard Plus program. It's aimed primarily at non-CS degrees and applicants are from mixture backgrounds. The program includes instruction in computer programming, testing, teamwork, along with work placement preparation module. So these are the modules there through the year, and you share some of these with some of our undergraduates, and some things are dedicated for the higher diploma students. So at the beginning, there's a 3-week intensive programming module that starts actually in early September. We also have a higher diploma in human computer interaction and user experience. So it's a 1-year program. Funding for that is available through the Human Capital Initiative through the Springboard Plus program. So it's full-time 1 year that prepares graduates to design, develop, and evaluate interfaces for modern applications technologies. And it was designed for applicants with at least a 3-year level 8 degree in any subject, including computing. However, applicants that have relevant prior learning can apply and be assessed for entry. So the modules here, we have a number of new modules that we developed for this that include creative interaction computing, multimedia technologies. We have a diploma project that lasts all year, designing for virtual environments. You can also do a PhD or MSc by research. There's many opportunities for research qualifications in the department. So the sort of research groups that we have include principles of computer programming, naturally inspired computation, music technology, geocomputing, financial engineering, computer science education, computer vision, molecular computing, and optical computing. So these are just a few clips of the websites of some of our groups. So you have Professor Tim McCarthy with the National Centre for Geocomputation, Computer Science Education Research Group, a number of students, a number of lecturers and students in that, Immersive Reality Research Group, Smart Cities and Enterprise Architecture, and the Computer Vision Group. We also have institutional affiliations with the Hamilton Institute, the National Centre for Geocomputation, the All Assisted Living and Learning Institute, and the Connect Wireless Research Centre. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can contact coordinators or myself if you would like to find out some more. So thank you.
That's great, Joe. Thank you very much. And sorry for rushing you. So yeah, I think that's it then. All right, thank you all.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Is the Pubble going to happen after that?
The Pubble is going to happen, yeah.
Okay.
That is, it's still scheduled, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
All
Okay.
right. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye. Bye.